Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Anthony Treichel. If you guys stick around, there's going to be free food for you guys in the mess hall around 11 o'clock. The reason I brought you guys all here today is because you're all veterans, and I think that you guys will all resonate very highly with the speech that I'm going to give. So today I'm going to be discussing the culture of alcoholism, something that I kind of identify with and have resonated with pretty much my whole life. Most people get into alcoholism when they're 21, when it's legal to be drinking, but for me, I started, at 7. I grew up in an Italian household where, I would be given glasses of wine and things like that around the table, and that was a very normal thing. From 7 to around 11 years old, my stepfather would be like, hey, go fetch me another beer, go get me another beer. And sometimes I'd be drinking a whole beer with my stepdad, or taking sips and all that. And soon after that, we'd be going on vacations, and I would be getting pissed drunk at the age of 11 to 13 years old while we were hanging out with my stepdad and all of his friends. So going into high school, I developed a lot of friends that had a lot of the same sort of traits and everything like that. So all of us would go and sneak into our parents' liquor cabinets and take all the Malibu and all the rum or all the scotch and whiskey that we could find and fill it up in our monster cans so that we can go hang out in the wood shop in the morning and just get pissed drunk. So frequently throughout high school, I was drinking very heavily between the ages of 15 to 19 years old. And at 19, I joined the Marine Corps, and a lot of people thought that was going to kind of straighten me out. But if you know anything about the Marine Corps, drinking is very heavily indoctrinated within the culture of it. Hoorah. So, I had fake IDs when I was 19 years old. We'd all be going out to the bar, getting pissed drunk, and at 20 years old, I had my first time getting severely in trouble, and I almost lost my entire career just at the age of 20 because I wasn't old enough to drink and I got caught. Luckily, I was able to retain my career, but that didn't stop me. So during all this time before I got to 21, we're drinking on average 6 to 12 beers a night. And that's just on the barracks if we're not going out. And if we were going out, we're nonstop visiting bars and frequenting all the different breweries and just having a good old time about it. And after my deployment, when I was around 24 years old, I got out and I leaned very heavily on alcohol because I didn't really have a support system, so I made alcohol my support system. And since being a civilian, I've spent the night a few times in jail. I've gotten in trouble pretty often, and that's not something that I probably want to do for the rest of my life. And I've had a lot of realizations since incarceration and losing a lot of friends and family that we idolize alcoholism way too much in today's society. And honestly, I feel as if alcohol poses a lot of immediate sort of life-threatening circumstances. And not only that, but there's so many chronic illnesses that are associated with alcoholism. And I'm not ashamed to say that I was extremely selfish when I was an alcoholic. And I feel as if a lot of people won't admit that about themselves as alcoholics. But as I stand here before you today, I can say that I'm sober. And I don't know if I can say I'm proudly sober, but I'm doing it. And while I'm doing it, I'm also kind of frowning upon the culture of alcoholism in an entirety. So that's the end of my speech, guys. Thank you very much.
Attaboy!
And I appreciate you guys.
Good speech. That's a good speech, man.
Audience one time.
That's a good speech, man.
That's really good, brother.
Good delivery. I'm a clockhead.
And then we'll
I'll believe it out.
do the outline.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, not me. been drunk once in my life, rest time I've been high. We get.
Flip it over. Cool. All right. Tuning out.
Rah.